They never expected her to matter. Every morning, before the sun even touched the streets of Dayton, Ohio, she was out on her rusty bike, tossing newspapers onto porches no one ever invited her into. Her name was Lily Hart. No one knew her story. No one cared to ask. But sometimes the loudest success stories begin in silence. Lily was 13 when her world turned upside down. Her dad walked out one night and never came back. Her mom, once the rock of their small family, collapsed under the weight of 2 jobs, overdue bills, and quiet tears cried behind closed doors. They lost the car, then the house, and for a while, even hope. They moved into a worn-out trailer on the outskirts of town. No Wi-Fi, no heat in winter, and on some days, no dinner. But Lily was different. She didn't complain. She didn't cry in front of anyone. She just got up and got moving. One morning, she borrowed an old bike from a neighbor and rode into town, walked into the local newspaper office, and said, "I want to work." The man behind the counter chuckled. "Kid, it's 4 in the morning. You should be sleeping." She looked him dead in the eye and replied, "I'll sleep after we eat." That's how she started. 7 days a week. 5 a.m. Cold hands. No gloves. But a fire inside her no one could see. She delivered those papers like her life depended on it. Because it did. And even when people slammed doors in her face or pretended not to see her at all, she smiled. Because every dollar she earned meant another bag of groceries. Another inch of dignity. But here's the thing about Lily. She didn't just deliver newspapers. She delivered resilience. She delivered belief. She delivered a message that you don't have to be noticed to be valuable. In school, she stayed quiet, sat in the back, her shoes always scuffed, her shirts too big, her notebooks filled with pages of essays no one ever read. Until one day, her English teacher, Mrs. Rowan, found one of her papers. It wasn't just good. It was unforgettable. A story about a little girl delivering hope. With every headline she dropped at someone's door, Mrs. Rowan asked her, "Who wrote this?" Lily looked down. "I did." That one moment changed everything. Mrs. Rowan entered her into a state writing competition without telling her. Lily won. And not just that. A local journalist heard about her, then a regional editor, then a scholarship committee from Northwestern University. The girl who delivered newspapers was now being delivered into rooms her family had only seen in magazines. She didn't have a polished accent. She didn't come from legacy. But what she had was undeniable. By the time she graduated high school, she had a full scholarship in hand and 3 part-time jobs under her belt. Still delivering. Still dreaming. At Northwestern, she studied journalism. Not because she wanted fame, but because she knew there were thousands of kids out there just like her, whose stories no one ever told. And she was going to be the voice for them. Fast forward 5 years. Lily Hart stood on a TEDx stage in front of thousands. Calm, steady, radiant. She told the world about poverty, grit, and invisible kids with dreams louder than the circumstances they were born into. She ended her speech with this: "You may never be the loudest in the room. You may never wear the fanciest clothes or eat at the best restaurants. But if you know what it's like to fall and still rise, to be unseen but keep showing up anyway, then you're not powerless. You're unstoppable." That talk went viral. Within days, she was being called by newsrooms, nonprofits, publishers. But Lily didn't forget. She returned to Dayton, started a mentorship program for underprivileged girls, those living in trailers, shelters, or the quiet shadows of society. She created a space where broken dreams could find new roots, where silence was no longer the only thing they owned. And guess what? The same girl who once delivered newspapers now delivers keynote speeches, published essays, and a message America needs to hear. That resilience doesn't wear designer shoes. It rides a rusty bike at 5 a.m. /ending message. So if you're watching this right now and you feel small, invisible, unimportant, let Lily remind you, your beginnings don't define your worth. The world may not see you now, but every act of courage, every small decision, keep going. is shaping something greater. Deliver your best every single day, because someone out there is waiting for exactly what only you can bring.